welcome to today's episode of Afro Scientific Spirituality. My name is West. If this is your first time on the channel, you're highly welcome. This is a place where we separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concept from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I will be talking on the cases of the missing 411 people in Northern and Southern America. This is a topic that was given to me by a subscriber, an American from New York, and she would like to know the African perspective about this missing 411 issue. For those people that don't know about this issue, this is cases of missing persons in America. This is a situation whereby people have been known to go into national parks in America, different kind of national parks and forest reserve for hiking or camping, or they're just passing through for whatever reason, and then they end up disappeared with no traces. Sometimes they see the bodies, sometimes they don't see the bodies, and there have been no explanations to this issue. So they simply term it the missing 411. And the national record so far is saying that over 1,600 people have officially been recorded as missing in these mysterious cases. But unofficial numbers detect that it can be twice that amount. So this is something that has been going on in America and Canada for quite some time now, and it has eluded any sort of a logical or scientific explanation. The situation happens whereby people will go into this forests, this national reserve, then mysteriously they will disappear. They will see their items. They will not be able to see these people. They cannot trace them. They cannot track them. They have tried every means possible. The next thing, they might see their dead bodies some thousands of miles away, hundreds of kilometers away. Sometimes they will see the body, sometimes they will not see the body, sometimes they will see bones, but they just cannot explain what is going on. So there have been many cases on this issue, so many YouTube videos, so many reports, and even the National Guards, the CIA, FBI, nobody have been able to say what is responsible for these missing people. Today I want to add my voice to the issue. I want to talk from the Afrocentric perspective of what I think is going on in this missing 411 scenario or cases in America. And from my own Afrocentric perspective, based on my analysis of the data that I have been seeing concerning the cases, the case study that I have studied, I have gone through, my own opinion will be that we have similar phenomenon like this in Africa, in Nigeria, of missing people. And in our own cases, we have this thing, this phenomenon that they call the evil forests in Africa, especially in West Africa. The evil forest is something that is very popular in Africa. In fact, anybody that tells you that they don't know about the evil forest in Africa, they are probably not from Africa. In ancient times, our African ancestors have a phenomenon they call the evil forest, and I'm going to explain it. This is a place whereby it's a designated portion of land where the ancestors or people, elders of a community, choose, or for whatever reason, demarcate to be keeping or exercising evil entities or people in the environment. In other words, these evil forests are secluded space or designated space for renditioning or banishing evil people or evil entities. So we have this kind of places. And in African spirituality, we believe that evil is part of nature. that evil is part of nature and there's nothing we can actually do about it. That the only thing we can be able to do against this aspect of nature that is not so desirable is to kind of contain it in a specific place, or contain it and reduce it to the minimum level possible. So what ancient African community usually do is that they have, each village have an evil forest. We have a sacred grove or sacred forest. The evil forest is for keeping or banishing or renditioning evil entities or evil people. How do we do this? We believe in Africa that these evil spirits or evil entities, they manifest in human form. Just like we have humans with good qualities, good hearts, we also have people with wicked hearts that are in human forms. So the only way you can know such people is when they start acting at, manifesting or doing these evil deeds in the community. Each community have laws for guiding their living, their customs and tradition, rules and regulations. E.g., you shall not kill, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not take other people's wife, thou shalt not do some certain things, some certain sort of abomination, doing black magic or witchcraft on your family or other people, or incest, sleeping with your own children, all sort of abomination. We have some list of abominable things that are not tolerated in African communities. So when you see somebody doing those kind of abominable things, or a person that is doing those kind of things are caught, what they do is that they take this person from the community and they take them into the evil forest and they tie them there. Most times they are tied alive. They are not buried. They will just carry them, tie them to a tree, and then they will leave them there for the people to die there. Many cultures in West Africa do this. We have this practice. It's a well-known practice till today. Some people still practice it. So we tie these people there and they leave them there to die, or for whatever fate to happen to them. So sometimes they are buried alive in some cultures. Sometimes they are tied, suspended in the air, in the way that their legs will not touch the ground, and some rituals are performed on their behalf. The essence of this is that they aim to trap this person inside that evil forest, so that when they have died, their soul or their spirit cannot reincarnate back into the community to bring that evil. So the essence is to trap their soul there for as long as possible, because these people have been identified as evil forces that should not be allowed to dwell with other humans. So this is what we use the evil forest for primarily in Africa, West Africa. Okay, this is what we use our evil forest for. Then sometimes we can come across some evil deities, things that we don't understand. These people or these deities are also carried and buried inside the evil forest. So the evil forest is like a prison, a physical prison where we trap negative and evil people, evil spirits in Africa spirituality. Okay, so this is what we use it for and much more. Then during the time of colonization, when the missionaries slash mercenaries came to Africa trying to colonize or started the slave trade and the rest, some of them wanted to settle down. They were demanding for lands to settle down to build their churches and whatever. Some of these evil forests were given to these missionaries as places for building churches, and many of them were broken into and churches were built on these evil forests. So quite probably some of these spirits that were trapped in those places escaped. Many of them escaped back into the community. They reincarnated as pastors and pastors and prophets, and now we have so many evil pastors in Nigeria locking down the spirituality of the people and doing so many evil things in the country. This is as a direct result of these evil forests that were broken into by these missionaries, and they allowed many of these evil spirits to escape. And now we have so many evil people in Nigeria causing problems. If you look, many of the leaders and the pastors, they are all vampires and vultures. These are the kind of things happens when you break into evil forest, you allow evil spirits to reincarnate. So this is one of those things. So the 411 case in Africa, we say the evil forest, apart from locking those things, spirits there, is a very mysterious place. People get lost in the evil forest all the time. When these evil forests have been designated for such purposes, people don't go into them anymore. They are usually left secluded. You don't go in, you don't touch it. Only people that are spiritualists or native doctors, DBS, that are allowed to go into this place, and you don't just go inside the evil forest. They have to do some incarnations for protection before they go into such places, so that nothing evil will happen to them. There have been cases of people going into the evil forest, they got lost, they never came out. Some came out and they lost time. They went in, by the time they come back years later, life have changed. They lost time. They're kind of a time travel spaces inside there. There are people that have gone into this evil forest and they came out, they went mad, they went insane. People cannot explain. There have been so many cases of this kind of things happening. People have been there too. Some people have died inside these places. So the evil forest in Africa is a well-known fact that mysterious things happens there, unexplainable things happens there, and people don't normally go into such places. So my postulation in this video is that maybe these national parks in Canada and America, or these Yellowstone parks and the rest that people have been missing inside, could it be that these parks are somehow ancient evil forests phenomenon in America? Could it be that the ancient Native Americans that were living on the continent in Canada and America in the previous time before colonization, could it also be that they have their own sort of evil forests that they also have on that continent that they use to trap this kind of evil spirits? My postulation with that is yes, I believe that they have their own kind of evil forest. Because if you look into this native spirituality that indigenous people practice around the world, it is basically the same. It's basically the same. So I won't be surprised if they have their own evil forest where they rendition evil spirits as well. There could very well be this kind of places. And also too, these places can also be spaces for time travel, in the sense that they are negative space whereby there are portals. We have like portals to other worlds, to other dimensions, whereby there can be ley lines, or there can be other entities that are actually living there that so-called modern day scientific or humans have not been able to discover there. Same thing we have in Africa. In my book that I wrote on quantum physics, the interrelationship between the evil forest and negative space in quantum physics and African spirituality, I focus on this evil forest phenomenon because it's a very, very popular phenomenon in Africa, and so many people have not been able to explain it. So the evil forest is not only a place for renditioning these evil spirits and bad human spirits, but also a place whereby there's a kind of a portal or interdimensional gateway to other dimensions. So this very place could be whereby entities can come in and go out of the earth or other places, and people can mistakenly stray into these kind of places and they'll disappear quite naturally, or things will just happen to them because there have been very, very strange occurrences in these places. So I went deep into this very subject in my book. I talk about the negative space, I talk about the wormhole, the black hole, and what it is used for. So some of these places contain wormholes, or rather black holes, are portals of vortex of energy that are kind of the part of the nerve centers of this earth that we are living in. As we know that there's something they call ley lines in the earth, and these ley lines are energy centers whereby energy lines converge and have the kind of frequencies that they emit. Places like Bermuda Triangle and other places around the world. Could it very well be that these national parks are this kind of places? So people go in and they just get sucked in. This is a case of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And when these kind of things happen, people not normally disappear, and anything can happen. So this once again will lead to another mystery, to solving the mystery of these cases of the 411 missing people, and how to avoid this kind of issue. The way we do this in Africa is that when you want to go into this kind of forest for any reason, you don't just go in. Quite naturally, if you try to avoid it as much as possible. But if there's something very important that you really want to do, maybe you're looking for a particular herb, or maybe you also want to go in to look for missing people, or for whatever serious reason you want to go into there, the first thing people do is that they do a little bit of offering to the spirits of that place. They'll get some offering depending on the kind of spirits you think or you divine to be living there. It can go for sacrificing a roaster, to just putting drinks and food items and calling out the spirits and giving them this offering as a token for safe passage into this forest to do whatever you want to do there. So it would be advisable that if you're living near this kind of places in America and you really want to go in and you must go in, try to give a little bit of offering to the spirits there before you go in, so that the spirits will acknowledge, that we know that you know that they are there, and it's a way of showing respect to their acknowledgement to them, and so that they will not harm you and they will not think maybe you're just some kind of arrogant person that is coming to invade their space. So when people in Africa wants to go there, we do this kind of offerings. Then they go into the forest to do whatever they want to do. And another explanation for what is going on could be that maybe there are some tribes, native indigenous people that are still living around those parks and those places, those bushes. And so far, these tribes are being evasive to modern day authorities, and they don't want to be found, they don't want to integrate or socialize. So these people could very well be viewing campers or people coming in as trespassers, and they may want to kidnap people from time to time. The aim of this quite naturally will be to discourage people from coming into the land. So that could be the very reason for them kidnapping and killing people, so that when people hear about this kind of stories, they'll be afraid to come into the land. So I believe that there could also be cases of people living there. And from what I have observed about these missing 411 cases, especially those in America, most of the dead bodies are usually found near water bodies like rivers. And my postulation once again could be that if there's human interference and there are indigenous people living there, these people might very well have boats. They will know how to swim, and probably they will also have maybe living underground. There might be underground tunnels around those places. These people might actually be living under the earth, and they have a very detailed and accurate knowledge of the area, more than other people, even more than the present day governments. So based on this knowledge, there will be naturally um, secluded from modern authorities. So whoever is doing the kidnapping, if it is human people, they're probably living underground and they very well know how to swim, or they have boats of going around these places. So that could also be another possibility explanation from this for these disappearances. If we don't want to go to the spiritual side of things, we can say, okay, whoever is doing this is very advanced, and probably they might know some way of clocking. They might have some also spiritual technology that they use to evade authorities. So far from the cases I observe, that the people disappeared. They never mentioned anything about their phones. I assume that these cases are actually spiked due to the coronavirus breakouts. Many people wanted to go to parks to enjoy nature and then they get disappeared. So I believe these people went there with their mobile phones. The stories did not really say what happened to the phones, what happened to the GPS signals, or things like that. I assume all of them going into these places with their phones, and I assume that there are networks in these places. So we need to still look further for that. And if we are going on the line that they are being kidnapped by people, cases of maybe serial killers going into the parks to stake campers or loan or workers and taking them out. It will not be a bad idea if future campers are fitted with a microchip to track their locational positions. If it is human occurrence, we will know from that by tracking the dead bodies fitted with the microchips in the future to find out what really happened to the bodies. So that will not be a bad idea to know that. But my own postulation is that these places might very well be vortexes like same evil forest we have in Africa. In Africa, a lot of people get missing all the time. They don't even hit the news, and we know about this phenomenon. We have this adage that monkey go market and not come back. Somebody goes into the bush, can be an hunter, or you can just get lost and nobody sees or hears from you anymore, and people forget about you. Life moves on. So this can very well be another evil forest phenomenon in America and Canada as well. So for more information about this evil forest, if you would like to know more, a very good book will be that of Shina Ashibe, Things Fall Apart. Is a prolific African writer. He talked about the evil forest, and he was one of the few writers that actually acknowledged that we have this phenomenon, and talked about a case where a man with a strange sickness was renditioned in the evil forest. The sickness, they didn't know where it came from, so people just took him to the evil forest and tying them. The man escaped, they caught him again, took him back and tied him in the evil forest. These kind of things happen in time past in Africa, and something we should not deny, despite the fact that it's like that. So it could very well be American evil forest issue. Again, we should look into that. In my home book that I wrote, I talked about this evil forest and negative space. So if you want to know more about this phenomenon, you can also get my book and also read it, and you will know more about the African evil forest and different things that happen in Africa and our spirituality, the scientific validity of the spirituality. Okay, so once again, it is still a mystery. There are many things we can't explain in life. This may be one of them, but hopefully in the future, we can be able to explain what is really going on with this situation of the missing 411 cases. Okay, so this is what I have for you today concerning this missing 411 African perspective. Questions and comments are welcome. Like and share this video. If you are interested in knowing more about African spirituality, you can register on my website, and you can learn more about these subjects. So I'll be seeing you in the next video. Take care and bye. Peace.